What's up, Ram fans? Welcome to our final CTV Sports show of the semester. For one last time, I'm Madeline Davis.
Now, as you know, I'm Leah Cackowski. Here's what we got on tap for you tonight.
Leah and I recap the last few days of CSU athletics, including high emotions, a podium finish, and honoring our seniors.
A feature of Windsor's track and field squad, along with your opinions on who will take home the Stanley Cup.
And last, the CTV Sports crew gave it their fair shot at some different sports. And we definitely disappointed.
All of that and more, right here on CTV Sports. When does it start? Right now!
CSU women's tennis was out in Las Vegas this past week for the Mountain West Championships. They started off the week on Wednesday with a battle against the Air Force Falcons, where they took the dub easily 4-0, sweeping them. Next up was Thursday, where they had a rematch against Wyoming, the team who gave them an L on senior night. But Luana Avalar clinched the match for the Rams 4-2, and they moved on to the semifinals, where they saw the number 62 ranked San Diego State Aztecs, where unfortunately they did fall 2-4. But overall, it was a fantastic showing for the Rams out in Las Vegas, and I know that these women are super proud of how this season went.
Moving on to some softball. CSU softball headed to Fresno for the last conference test of the entire year. They went 1-2 on the weekend, but honestly, Sunday was quite an amazing day, winning 11-1 in just 6 innings. This clinches their spot in the Mountain West tournament, and Madeline might even get to go herself.
We'll see. Golf was out in Oregon for the Mountain West Championships as well, where they ended up in third, shooting an .856, and they were only 3 shots away from tying for first. Overall, a fantastic outing for the men in Oregon. Connor Jones led the team, shooting a .212, and they will just have to wait and see if their name gets called for the NCAA regionals.
Track hosted this weekend, and they celebrated a player from last year who passed away, being Colton Casa. A lot of people showed out. The track was packed, and honestly, looking at the stats side of things, you know, there's really one name and one name only that we've been talking about all year. Maya Lesnar. She won. So that's really all we need to know about track, and they're heading into the Mountain West Championship soon as well. But that's not all we have on track. Our very own Gideon has some information to share with us as well. Gideon, what we got?
Hello, beautiful Ram fans. So, from DeBeck to Lamar, from Holyoke to Durango, Colorado has some of the country's top high school track and field athletes. And right down in Windsor is the athlete who is currently 6th in the nation with the 200-meter dash time. Gideon is currently over at Windsor High School with the story.
Thank you, Gideon. Now, I'm here at H.J. Dudley Fields tonight, and I have a very special guest who is about to join me. So,
hey guys, I'm Mikey Munn. I'm a sprinter from Windsor, Colorado.
And Mikey is one of the best in the entire country at what he does. Not only is he first in Colorado in the 100-meter dash, he's also 3rd in the state in the long jump and 6th in the entire country in the 200, let alone 1st in Colorado. And in preparation for the Weld County Track Championship last Wednesday, Mikey said he would be preparing for the 400-meter sprint.
I'm just excited. Got to run an open 4 for the first time this year, try to break on the school record, run some good times, so I'm excited.
Which was a drastic understatement, with his time of 47.68 seconds leading the entire state.
It's just hard work. You know, it's easy to kind of stay with the pack and do all these things that are easy. If you want to do the great things, you want to break records, all that stuff, you have to beat yourself, because sometimes you won't have the best competition in races, and you just got to push yourself instead of having other people push you. Colorado sometimes is underrated in a lot of things, which kind of is unfortunate, but you can do what you want to do. We have kids that go places anywhere they want to go, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. We have kids that compete. If you go to Niwot, Fossil, all those kind of schools, Roosevelt, you look at the teams that are in there, you see those teams, and we're like, oh, okay, we're going to put our best relays in there. We're going to put our best kids in the best events. You might not always like them at times, but it's fun. It's fun to have something to compete against for sure. And, we're not Texas or Florida, but, there's kids that are competing. Everything's a little slapped on, but, it's just still a place to compete.
And though Munn is going to be competing on the next level for the University of South Dakota, there's nothing quite like putting it on for the Windsor Wizards.
I like Friday nights, these stands get full, it's the whole town comes out and watches the football games, which is really fun. It's such a cool environment. You don't get out of other places around here. My buddies played Pee Wee football. The championships were out here, and we thought it was the coolest thing to get to come play on this field. It's a really good, positive community. Everybody loves to support. I have a lot of great teammates. We have a couple girls who are running state leading times too. School records are getting broken. We have boys relay teams that are going crazy. I might be like the higher up on the list, but we've got a lot of really great kids, a lot of great teammates that are doing a lot of really great things, and wonderful coaches too. They're great people, and they prepare us all really well.
And we're about to put that preparation to the test. And so, because why not, Mikey and I here about to race. How do you think you're going to do here?
Good. I'm feeling confident. We'll see how it goes though.
Very good. I'm going to prove them wrong.
All right.
A few moments later.
So Mikey, you proved yourself right. Came out on top in this one, but what do you have to say to the people of Northern Colorado about this inspiring victory?
Thanks for watching. Thank you, Gideon, for coming out. It was awesome.
And with that, Mikey is going to run straight into his future, one that he'll make as bright as he possibly can.
We've only got one runner right now in section 1. We're looking for...
Thank you very much, Gideon and Mikey, and thank you to everyone, from the athletes to the coaches and parents, from school admin to everyone right here in the studio. It has truly been my pleasure to help expose you all to Northern Colorado prep sports over the course of this past semester. I really do treasure my relationships with everyone that I've met on this journey, and I can't wait to keep getting to know you all over the next 2 years. After the break, we will be finding out what CSU students think will be the outcome of these upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs from the very own Nick Ortiz.
After 2 years?
You're gonna be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
we're in a 4-foot group!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
Okay.
Hold on. All right. Wizard. You gonna roll?
Now I know how everyone at CTV loves basketball, but that's not the only playoffs going on right now. I thought it was about time that we give the better sport some love, so I took it to the streets to get your Stanley Cup playoff predictions.
Who am I here with? All right, who am I here with?
Antonio Ortiz.
Lord, you're here with Brady Weiss. Hey, you watch a lot of hockey?
Yeah, I do.
That's good, because I want to hear your Western Conference final prediction. Tell me what's going to happen. Talk to me.
Okay, Western Conference. I am taking the Vegas Golden Knights against the Vancouver Canucks.
I want to do it. You know, I got to say Avs. All right. And I don't know, man. Oilers are looking good this year. They're looking pretty hot.
Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche. Give me the Avalanche in 6.
McKinnon over Davo again.
Absolutely.
Nathan McKinnon over Davo again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm gonna take the Knights against the Canucks. Okay,
Yeah.
I think they could actually win it.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a tough series.
Yeah.
I think Knights in 6.
No question.
What's the Oilers' weakness?
They just lost to the Kings.
That'll do it. Moving to the Eastern Conference final. East, absolute powerhouse. What's happening?
I'm taking Carolina Hurricanes against Boston Bruins.
Carolina, Boston.
Carolina, Boston. Tell me about that.
Carolina in 5.
5.
I think Canes are going to win it
Yeah.
in 5.
Canes in 5. They're just going to smoke.
They're just going to smoke.
No worries.
Dude, I mean, Florida looks really good.
I know that.
And
Carolina looks good too. I'd rather see them get somewhere.
Yeah, Carolina, you'd like to see them go far.
Once they get to those finals, it's gonna go downhill.
Fall apart from there.
For sure.
Panthers in 6, 5, 6.
That's a safe bet. All right, so final we got Knights and we got Canes.
Yep.
Talk to me.
Canes. Let's take it to Game 7. I want to see 7 games.
Now tell me something good here.
I think we got them. We could take them in probably 6.
Yeah.
I am an Avs fan, and I want to say Avs.
I think team wraps up. Georgie's been playing better. Or Georgie had a better game.
He locked in.
They start playing like we know we can play. I think they got it.
Absolutely.
In 6. And Avs prediction.
Avs in 6. Who's your Conn Smythe winner?
Nathan McKinnon. Actually, no. Cale Makar.
Again?
Yeah.
In 6 games?
Yep. Georgiev's gonna stand on his head.
Well, I guess we'll see then.
Yep.
Anything else?
Don't draft Bo Nix.
As I stand here right now, my Colorado Avalanche have a 3-1 series lead in their series over Winnipeg. Leah, back to you.
How's it going?
Madeline, I'm doing really well. This is kind of strange.
I know, a little bit of a fun format. Speaking of fun,
I just can't wait to see what's next.
Oh yeah, speaking of fun, our sports director Mike thought it would be a phenomenal idea yesterday to take us all out and just give us sports equipment, and honestly just see what we do. So he has created a package, and we're gonna watch it.
And I cannot wait for you all to see this.
Yeah. Disclaimer: we don't play many of the sports we played.
No.
So
and that's why it's amazing.
Yeah.
So take a look.
Yeah. Let's watch it.
One take wonder.
I don't like this sport.
She does not remember the route. Phoenix!
Yeah, Meadow and then you. Or you, I don't know, whatever. Oh! Did you just dribble? Events today.
After all the events today, you know, it's the reason I talk about sports now and I don't play them.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. Love this team. What a semester.
Sweet. Love it.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us! We're in a 4-foot room!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do? I can't. Okay. Hold on. All right. Wizard, what do you do? Wizard?
I don't think I'm into this kind of stuff fully. I can't do it. Hey, I think I'm pretty anxious. I'm just.
No, we can pause this.
We can take
a
break.
Let me go get some water. Yeah,
It's another day.
Yes, we're good.
What's up, brother? And welcome to the last segment of this here Hot Takes. I've been waiting to say that for so long. And you know what? I think we got to go right into this segment. And I'm starting off with our very own Nick Ortiz.
Oh, boy.
Let's hear it. What is your hot take for the world to hear?
You know, since these last 8 months, I've come here every other Tuesday, and I have talked about basketball. And I've been boiling to say it. Basketball's got to be the most overrated sport ever.
No.
It's easily.
No.
You know, it's not interesting until the end, and it's dependent on a comeback or the score staying close. So I've said my piece. You guys, what do you think of that?
Basketball
Have you
is
ever
art.
watched a football game in your life?
Oh yeah. You ever seen the Minneapolis Miracle? That was beautiful.
That was nice, but basketball is art. It is the perfect melding of leather and flesh and mentality.
Really?
It is all a mental game that if you are able to harness it to the best of its abilities, it is a pure
Gideon,
art. As pure of an art as you get.
Have you heard about golf before?
I feel like
I
you
think
could
you
use
might
that
love it.
argument for every single sport.
Football.
Yeah.
What else is going
I'm
on
not
there?
a big basketball person either, so I'm gonna have to be over here with Nick. We can.
Heck
Really?
Yeah.
So I think because I know where Madeline stands on this. I think we're divided here.
I'm not going out here saying I'm the world's biggest basketball fan because we all know that is not true. I am the world's biggest baseball fan. But I just really don't think that anyone can watch the 4 major sports in America and say that football isn't by far the most boring to watch.
What's boring about it?
That might be our hottest.
That might be.
Truly.
I low-key agree.
I think if you don't understand football, it's boring.
I get that, but also at the same time, to me, it's like it's too much standing around. They need to speed it up. They need
just think they have
to
too many
just
penalties.
they need to just do like instead of 4 quarters, just make it 2 15-minute halves. Shorten the game in half.
The current
Probably
format.
be safer.
It'd be safer. It'd be quicker. Football games are so long.
They are really long.
The current format of the NFL is too long. Now, if you're looking at, granted, I spend a lot of time at high school sporting events, but those are like maybe 2 hours, 2.5. Meanwhile, an NFL game is like 3.5. So if we figure out a way to trim them down so they're shorter, I mean, commercials still have to be in there, but yeah, they are way too long.
I think it's funny that you bring up standing around when baseball's your favorite sport. You can't like argue that it's boring because you're standing around when your favorite sport is baseball.
No, but you
understand baseball. So
I
you
do.
Like it. You
So there's
don't
something happening.
understand football.
I'm not necessarily saying I don't understand football.
I think that's the
understand
argument
the
here.
rules.
Like baseball is arguably like I love baseball as much as the next person, and it's probably arguably like the most boring sport to watch. But I love it.
If you don't know what's going on,
But
like
it's better than
baseball's gotta
basketball.
be.
Let's not get away
We're just piling on the hot takes.
That is simply untrue.
That I don't know. I mean, I think if we're talking about baseball, me and Madeline actually have a really, really good hot take.
Yeah.
And I'll let you lead off with it.
Okay. This is probably going to come as a shock, especially being a Rockies fan, considering they're now tied for worst team in the league. Thank you for blowing it tonight against the former worst team in the league.
Now they claim it.
The Miami Marlins.
Yep.
So now they're tied for just really bad. But I think in order to prevent teams from being this bad, let's bring in some European soccer. Let's add relegation.
Ooh,
no, I agree.
Okay.
And you had to explain what that meant to me again, because I think soccer is the worst sport ever, but that's another really big hot take, but that's not the hot take. But I just think that there needs to be consequences for teams who do so bad so consistently, and on top of that I'm adding more of a fun mix in it of like something even like a consequence on the ownership side of things in baseball, to where like if you lose like 100 games, I think they should there should be free food and drinks at the entire stadium or something.
I'm on board.
I think people get behind that.
People get behind that.
And then but the catches though, like the owners have to pay for it all. So like if you're gonna keep wasting your money every year and not invest in good players and not have good seasons, I think that fans should get rewarded for that because of all their misery that they have to face with it.
I do have one question within that. I do think this sounds like a good idea because the minors do have a good system of that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool if Grand Junction somehow worked their way up in 5 seasons to having a major league
That
team,
would be wild.
But how would that work with the implementation of the draft?
I mean, I haven't thought too far into it. To be honest,
those were not thought of.
I mean,
when we had this
to me, the MLB draft is like, it's kind of like getting a lottery ticket anyway, because like it's one of those things where it's not like the NFL draft where you can tank and you get the first round draft pick and you could potentially be set. The MLB. These guys, every now and then you get a Bryce Harper, you get a Mike Trout that barely plays any games in the minors. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, the guy drafted first in the year that Mike Trout was drafted, he didn't even make his major league debut until about 2 years ago. And Mike Trout was drafted in 2012.
Yeah. It's just interesting how it all plays out, especially with because I don't even know how many people get drafted every single year, because I don't even know.
Oh, so many.
It's like
so many.
Isn't it like 300?
Yeah, something.
So it's
something.
Again, you never know what your route will be with that. Like you could be in the minors for a really long time.
Or just if you want, to do that, just draft them to a team. Instead of drafting them to the minor leagues, if they're good enough, draft them straight into the majors.
Yeah, I mean, that's why kids get drafted out of high school, because that's kind of like what they do with that. But I just think that there needs to be more of a consequence for teams. It could happen in the NFL too. Like the Panthers, 2-15 last year?
They were bad.
Like,
They were
okay,
hard to watch.
then
Yeah.
pay for a stadium full of fans that could literally go and just have fun and not have to worry about it, and the owners have to pay for everything because of like. That's just, I think that'd be fun. I would start rooting for bad teams.
I know. Well, I
if
think
that was the case.
I think it would change the trade deadline immensely.
Yeah.
Because then you got a team that is going that's not good, but they're going to go after a big player that they think can impact their team just enough to the point where they don't have to go down.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so then I
can see
feel
it.
like it's maybe it's even a way to spread out the stars more without giving them a salary cap, because obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this definitely like ties in with the salary cap
Mm.
thing. It's like trying to find
yeah.
a solution for like having like these super dominant like wealthy teams, and then
Yep.
Yeah.
nobody's ever gonna be able to catch up.
No.
Yeah. But
Salary
I
cap
mean,
sucks.
it just kind of reminds me of that joke where people are joking about how the Dodgers have $1 billion tied up in like 5 players.
They
but-
actually legitimately, yes.
Yeah, they do.
an actual $1 billion, and then some team's gonna beat them in the NLCS.
Yeah,
and,
they probably will.
with the power of friendship. And
It's going to be the Phillies.
Well, Ruby, I want to hear what your hot take is because I hear it's pretty fun as well. So
Well,
let's hear it.
Everybody knows how big of an advocate I am for women's sports. I will always say that the women's sports at CSU are better than the men's sports. I feel like we always have it by a long
That's
shot.
just a fact.
I can
Yeah,
see that. I can
My
see
hot
that.
take now is that women's sports overall across the board are more entertaining than men's sports. And I feel
I
like
agree.
this year it like really, we started off with the 92,000 Nebraska volleyball
Yeah.
game. They had
Yes.
92,000 fans in the football arena.
Yeah.
And then we have Caitlin Clark this year, and
Yep.
we have Coco Gauff, and we have the women's soccer team. Like, I just feel like the list goes on and on. So I don't know how much of a hot take it is, but
I think that's just
Yeah.
like
for this room,
I
at
think that's
least.
just a legit take. I don't think it's a
yeah,
hot take.
I
I think it's just
pretty
like
cool.
That is
Yeah.
a very arguable, like,
It's a room temperature take.
I don't think you can find very many people who would vehemently disagree with that.
I mean, do we think, I was thinking about this too, with Caitlin Clark going to the Indiana Fever, it's always an ongoing thing, like WNBA doesn't get views or fans. Well, that's going to completely
will
change
change.
this
That
year.
is going to
Do
That
we
will
think
change.
that the Fever are going to beat out some of these NBA teams now? Like with viewership and fans and revenue?
I think at the start,
Honestly,
it's
yeah.
probably more likely just because of how excited people are to see it. I'd
More-
say.
and they want to see her play.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
more people will watch that than watching the Hornets be okay at best for the 5th year in a row. Like,
I saw one of the Fever players today who's been on the team for 3 years. She said when she was first on the team, they played in a barn with 6 fans, and now they're having to switch venues because they have so many people wanting to come
Wow.
That's
in.
impressive.
I think it's well, and it's like it's going on a level too of just like celebrities like that are getting
Yeah.
involved because that's like honestly where money comes in is like certain deals with brands and different
Yeah.
celebrities, and people are like actually tuning in and watching. That's where I think that's going to be the most impact too when
Yeah.
it comes to like the Fever gaining all that momentum and stuff.
Personally,
oh.
I feel like my biggest, not necessarily issue with your take, but you said this year. I think it's just in general.
No, I think it it started this year. I think like it's like kind of.
But I
turned the
think that
page.
women's sports have always been more entertaining. But
I
people
agree.
people just haven't been.
They're
People just
realizing
haven't.
it now.
Yeah, I think
Coco
like
Gauff has been
people are
around for
coming to the
forever.
realization now.
Yeah.
Because as someone who grew up thinking that sports were for women, like I only knew women's sports growing up. Like I only watched figure skating. I watched like women's tennis. I watched the women's sports because I was like, okay, well, women play sports.
Right.
Men happen to do it too, but like,
Yeah, and I definitely don't disagree with your argument. I think like the stats are finally there to like back
Yeah.
it up that like the women
I
are
just think,
so entertaining.
yeah, people are just
People
finally
can't argue
realizing
against
Yeah.
it that people are actually watching because everyone's like, oh, no one
People-
watches or cares, but
yeah,
in
people
reality,
But like that's
are
so,
watching.
they speak for itself. And like you've said, even here at CSU, of just like women's teams just constantly dominating every single year. Like our swim and dive team, track is always volleyball, right? Like everyone, I don't know, our women's teams like historically have always done really well, at least while I've been here.
Yeah, and coming at it from the high school perspective as well, I've thought for years. Sorry, everybody back home, that I mean, women's soccer is more entertaining to watch than men's soccer.
Oh,
I agree with that.
I mean, the environment in dugouts at a softball game versus a baseball game, it's night and day in terms of like supportiveness.
Oh my gosh.
With the
Baseball team's a little more
softball team.
chippy.
Yeah.
And all around, like even like watching basketball, going back to Manitou, I would spend just as much time watching the C team in JV for the women's as I would for the men's. And it is a really big factor, and you're starting to feel that, well, not trickle down. It is like a waterfall at this point.
Yeah, I just had fun watching this year too. I was actually watching more women's March Madness than I was for men's for like, I don't know. Like I was watching those games more than I was.
More exciting.
And it was really fun, and it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things too is like the women's game is just going to build more stars because they stay in it longer for college.
That's
it's like nobody could name a star men's basketball player this year.
You can name 5 women's
Exactly,
players.
because it's like you have Jared McCain, he's gone already, he's to the NBA, and so it's like you don't build up these like stories and this like character plot never gets to like finish developing because they're out of there like that.
And it's so hard to develop a fan base with athletes that don't stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The transfer portal, that could be a whole segment of
that could be a whole
show.
segment.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my hot takes has to do with the NBA draft and how they should re-implement the high school rule because before like 2006, people would stay for a long time, or if they were good enough, they would just go straight to the league. And so now all those guys are just waiting. But having that rule in the women's game, it does provide a much stronger fan base in the long term. It's very interesting to watch.
It is. I want to hear your hot take though. Like, if you know, personally, the high school one is great, but I think I know you have something that's even gonna be more interesting.
Okay, so people are going to. I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but we're going to be talking about another guy that came straight out of high school, and
I hope we know who he is.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
Oh, okay.
What about him?
I do not. I do not think that he is a top 5 basketball player of all time.
Who are your top 5?
Yeah, give us your top 5 before we get into this.
In front of him, on any given day, I have Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and depending on the day, Bill Russell.
So why not Kobe? Like, why?
Honestly, I really respect the Mamba mentality. And it's not about what he lacks, it's about what everybody else on that list has.
It's just like crazier.
We are getting booed.
I really respect the Mamba mentality.
And I also like to do a live boo because Kobe Bryant.
Well, I mean,
he's a legend, bro.
Well, he is a legend, and he is in my top 10. He's better than Dirk, he's better than Hakeem, he's better than Shaq. But when it comes down to it, I mean, he's the best version of Michael Jordan since Michael Jordan, but the gap leaves a lot of room for other players.
Okay, but that makes no sense if he's the best player of Michael Jordan, and there's literally no one that's like Michael Jordan.
Well, he's the closest we've ever gotten. But
Michael Jordan's your number 1.
Kobe's the closest we've ever gotten.
Yeah, 1 is Mike,
so
2
he
is
should
LeBron,
be your second.
3 is Kareem.
I was going to say, shouldn't he be your second?
And
if he's
LeBron
is closest.
Because LeBron, are you saying LeBron is more like Michael Jordan then? If he's your number 2? Because then that's
I'm saying he's the closest in skill set to Michael Jordan, skill set and talent. But overall, as a player with the legacy, you got to plug in all the other factors.
How many
like
championships did Kobe win though? I was going to say, he had 5. Michael Jordan had 6.
Yeah,
how many
6.
does LeBron have? How many? I actually don't know.
He's got 4.
Okay, 5 is better than 4.
Yeah. And Kareem has 6 MVPs, while Kobe only has 1.
Oh, man.
It doesn't matter. Basketball's overrated. I don't even care.
I'm just waiting for
circling back around. I think, we're going to do rapid fire. Everyone's favorite basketball player, go. You go. You start, Nick.
Me?
Yep.
Yes. Jokic.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Myself, granny shot yesterday.
Yes.
I'm also going to go with Jokic.
Jokic now, Michael Jordan forever.
Yeah, I got to go with Yoke. Got to go with Yoke every day. of the week.
He's so funny, too.
Yeah,
and
just a goofball.
He
is.
just
I know, the grill outfit was so good. That was so good. And then, did you see the like win graphic? I think it was Sports Center that posted it, and it was like his head on Gru, and then
saw
like
that.
Ron was in the moon.
Yeah, I think that is so
I saw the
funny.
Lakers as like his minions.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they're yellow. The minions are yellow.
The thing is, that's the best thing I think we've gotten over the past 5 years is just the graphics teams for every single sport that there is.
We love new graphics.
That's how I get my news. Is like I'll scroll through Instagram and have more fun looking at the memes and what those teams can make rather than even just going and looking up the score. Like I think that's so much more fun.
My favorite of the past week was Magic Johnson after Game 2 when the Nuggets came back from down 20, and Magic Johnson the next day tweeted, "I was too devastated last night to tweet."
Yeah,
the graphic of that came out, and I hope I never have to use that, but it's funny.
That is funny. I think it's funny watching like. I don't even know, players, like, celebrities that go and root for those teams, and then when they show their reactions, too, because, like, there's always that celebro. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
That's on my throat.
Hit him with Mr. Smith and his, I mean, granted, he has more D1 basketball experience than I do, but his 0.5 points per game in college.
So I'll do a quick recap of what just went down for, if anyone is tuning in. Tonight, Madeline and I, for the very first time, did a little bit of an ad-libbed intro, which was really fun. We had some great packages on the night as well. We obviously played some very, very, very challenging sports, and it's why we have D1 athletes to play them.
CTV Sports.
Yeah. And yes, and you know what, you guys, this was a great round of hot takes. I've learned a lot about my coworkers actually just from this, and we've been working together quite some time. I embarrassed myself on TV. I don't think I could ever be on SNL. I would laugh way too much. But you know what, guys, this is kind of a special episode too because our very own Madeline and Ruby are moving on from CSU, and you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure. I've got to know both of these lovely ladies for quite some time, and I'll never forget meeting both of them for the very first time. Ruby actually came in to our sports show from volleyball 2 minutes before our show started. She told me she was wearing the Hailey Bieber slick back, and she went on. And that is my very, very first memory of Ruby. I'm trying to think of Madeline. I just remember going into the newsroom, and you were just talking about baseball. And I was like, yep, okay. So I have something in common with someone. You know, not a lot of girl friends of mine actually, you know, watch and care about baseball. So that's been
Not a lot of friends of mine watch.
I know that too. And so I think it's been really special. We've all learned so much from both of you in many ways, you know, going to March Madness together this year, me calling Madeline and crying because I couldn't figure out my camera at March Madness.
At 1 a.m. in the morning.
At 1 in the
Keep
morning.
in mind.
And it's just been a ride. And I know, obviously, Ruby going to go play some beach volleyball, going to switch it up a little bit. And Madeline, obviously, going to crush
Unemployed.
it. Yeah, currently unemployed, but that will change soon enough.
If anyone has a job out there, I'm looking.
So this is actually just personal branding. So contact Madeline Davis. No, seriously, it's been really fun. But I think in honor of our last show, there's been so much that's happened over the course of this year. I want to hear everyone's favorite memory. Nick,
You want me to start off?
It's your first semester ever. Well, it's second now, but first year at CTV. Let's really quickly.
What's your favorite memory from the year?
If you remember, at the beginning of the year, I was very nervous. I was very, very quiet. And we had the Rocky Mountain Showdown show, and that was our kind of debate, who was going to win all that. I had like pages upon pages of notes just in case I needed it. And then you asked Madeline her opinion. She goes, "I don't care." I was like, "What do you mean you don't care?" That was appalling to me. That threw me off.
If we haven't learned, Madeline clearly doesn't like football after all of this tonight too. But
don't tell my employers.
She loves football. We're just joking.
Don't let anybody see this.
That's a great memory.
Yeah, that one threw me off.
That was a great. We'll
Thanks,
save you
Madeline.
two for last.
Okay.
Gideon, what was your favorite memory from this year?
Oh, goodness. I know it's kind of dumb to go with the most recent thing, but last week when we had that, when I was able to break the news of girls flag football being sanctioned here in Colorado, which is a huge win for the entire state.
Totally.
And then when we were able to just shoot the breeze about the NBA playoffs.
That was a lot of fun.
But yeah, it's really been a great semester.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about editing, interviewing, but also being more comfortable with you guys on desk over the course of you guys remember the first show, I could barely get a word out.
Madeline and I are yappers.
That's how it goes.
So
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
You know, Leah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a great memory. If I had to pick mine, it's really random, but like, again, Madeline helped me with a lot of interviews that we were able to do this year, and traveling to March Madness, that was like, but like show memory, I have to go with, it's just Madeline's cough. I'm sorry. We do crisis management training, and that is one, even as a co-anchor, I had no idea what to do. I didn't know if I should have started to read her script. But if you haven't seen it, Madeline basically, it sounded like she was going to start crying, but she could not stop coughing. And thankfully, our lovely studio crew did their best they could to just, mute her mic. But then it thought she was done, and then she wasn't. So we had to cut it again. But that was so funny, and I went back and watched it, and I wish we could see your face because it was just a graphic, but that was my favorite memory.
And then when I was presenting my package for that week, and about halfway through, I started going again.
Oh yeah.
And that was a fun memory. That was a fun one.
And what's yours? Do you have one?
Oh, this year was my first year being on the Thursday news show, which was different for me. I've always kind of subbed in on the sports show, and so Mike and I would always kind of giggle a little bit because for some reason before, I would make these really silly sports packages, and they'd be talking about homicide and murder. And people,
Silly.
Yeah, no, that was what the news was about. So then it would be like, after this homicide story, Ruby's got mini golfing with McKenna and Dave, and I'm like, sports, or Headband Joe. It was just kind of funny for me, but interesting to navigate, but fun.
And last but not least, we got Mad Dog. What's the memory besides the cough? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, Leah took my favorite memory, so now I guess I have to think of a new one. Honestly, I'd just say being able to finish out my senior year. Being able to finish out my senior year with a fun crew. I've really enjoyed working with all of you guys. It's really been an honor to work here at CTV. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about, broadcast, video production, but I've also learned a lot about myself throughout the journey. I've had a ton of fun here. I've truly met my closest friends in college through CTV. I would not be where I am without it. It's given me so many great opportunities, from my first college football game to March Madness to sitting in the dugout of Coors Field, something I never thought I'd be able to do. So, just standing up here with you guys and just being able to chat and just talk about sports, something we all share and something we all love. So it's truly been an honor, and it's been a privilege. And CTV is going to be something that I hold very near and dear to my heart for the rest of my life. And so I'm very thankful for my opportunities here, very thankful for everyone I've ever had the chance to work with, and just everyone who's taken a chance on me. Because at the end of the day, it's all about those people who are willing to take a chance on you, and then you being able to prove yourself. And so I'm glad that, all of you guys are up here and able to stand through it with me. And to all the people back in studio, thank you for doing everything you do. We truly could not be doing it without you. And just, once again, thanks for everyone who took a chance. Thanks for everyone who took a chance on the girl who came to college thinking she wanted to be a broadcaster, but didn't even think she had a shot. So I really appreciate it.
Well, there's not gonna be any tears, but that was really sweet, and it's true.
Nice. I could whip some up.
Really quickly.
Let me go. No.
Well, Ram fans, it's been quite the semester, and a lot of things are going to change, but in a good way. So thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Good luck on finals, and we'll see you next semester.